Okeye local government area to welcome the PDP lawmaker. Natacha received a rousing welcome from supporters despite a government ban on rallies and processions. However, the senator in a statement issued today challenged Bello to tell the world where he manufactured the names of those fake constituents, calling for a recall. The senator described the recall attempt as a continuation of Bello's political vendetta against a person.
The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has revealed that it took Nigeria nearly 40 years to increase its power generation by 2,000 megawatts, from 2,000 megawatts in 1984 to 4,000 megawatts by 2022. Adelabu said this feat had been achieved in less than 2 years of the current administration, with the country experiencing a remarkable surge in power generation to an impressive 6,003 megawatts. Adelabu made this known when he was paid a courtesy visit by members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, led by its president, Margaret Oguntala, to discuss areas of collaboration between the NSC and the ministry. In a statement today by the spokesperson for the Minister of Power, Bolaji Tunji, said the discussion further centered on strategic partnerships, mentorship opportunities, and the crucial role of NSC in providing technical advisory support to the ministry on power-related issues.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. The Director General of National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, has said that the agency is committed to using technology to fight substandard and falsified products in Nigeria. The Director General stated this in Oka, Anambra State, during a 2-day sensitization and awareness workshop on Green Book, Traceability Project and Pediatric Policy today. Adeyeye, who was represented by Special Assistant Mr. Gbenga Fajamiroko, said the workshop aims to provide information, sensitize stakeholders, and provide hands-on training to participants. The workshop featured training on 3 major technologies launched by the agency, which can help consumers detect fake products. During the workshop, participants were taken through the rigors of downloading the applications on their phones and its use to detect substandard and falsified products.
The Oyo State government will roll out the second tranche of farmers' loan this month for bumper food production. The chairman of the State Agricultural Credit Corporation, Sheikh Taufik Akilba Gold, revealed this today while featuring on BCOS Radio Network program, Orotunlo. Sheikh Akilba Gold added that over 2 million naira is already on ground for distribution to present farmers in the state, while the process is also ongoing for additional money from the state government. The chairman of ACOS called on peasant farmers that are interested in the agri loan to pick the necessary forms at various local governments across the state. He urged beneficiaries of the first tranche of the farmers' loan to pay up on time so others can benefit. Sheikh Taufik Akilba Gold speaks further on the farmers' agri credits in the state.
Presently, we are still expecting those whom we loaned last year to return their money. We've been only able to recover up to just 20% of the money, which is just 200 million naira. Without 200 million naira, we wish to forge forward. We wish to move forward to start loaning people again, especially farmer, peasant farmer, to start loaning them. Although the state government has promised our commission that they are going to give us more money this year, and we're still expecting that. And we are urging our people to go and obtain their form from all local government throughout the Oyo State, where we are still appealing to those who are still owing the money that they should please refund on time. They should remember that those who stand surety for them, they are civil servants, very close to their retirement, so they can't go without paying the money. They should please pay the money on time.
The Oyo State Head of Service, Mrs. Olubumi Oni, has charged newly recruited officers to embrace workplace discipline, punctuality, obedience to lawful instructions, and a commitment to duty to be able to stand out in the service. She disclosed these are the orientation program for the newly recruited officers in various cadres in the mainstream of the Oluyole State Civil Service. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdurafi was at the event, which was held at the Local Government Staff Training Center, Agodi Secretariat, Ibadan. If I was in the details.
The trainees were among the over 900 civil and public servants recently recruited by the Oluyole State Civil Service Commission into various cadres in ministries, departments, and agencies. Presenting a keynote address, the Oluyole State Head of Service, Mrs. Olubunmi Oni, stated that civil service is not just about routine tasks, but excellent performance, which has to do with demonstration of exceptional performance, professionalism, and dedication in the delivery of public services. She enjoined the new recruits to imbibe political neutrality, impartiality, anonymity, integrity, confidentiality, professionalism, accountability among key ethical principles of civil service. Mrs. Oni stressed that as ambassadors of the state at various duty posts, the new officers should treat every citizen with respect and provide prompt, courteous services, adding that they must be resilient at overcoming challenges which may arise in the course of their duties.
The civil service is the bedrock of governance. It ensures continuity, implements policies, and delivers essential services to the public. You are now part of this system, and it is important for you to understand your roles within this system. This is a noble calling that requires dedication, discipline, and integrity.
In his address, the chairman of Oluyole State Civil Service Commission, Alhaji Kamaru Aderibigbe, lauded the commitments of the state governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, at developing the state civil and public service and the state as a whole. He noted that the recruitment of over 900 officers across various cadres, in addition to other recruitment efforts, is a testament to the governor's resolve to strengthen the workforce and ensure effective delivery of public services.
I also thank Engineer Seyi Makinde for making them proud. Some of them have received 2 months' salaries, while a number of them 1 month's salary. With this, they should be dedicated, committed, hardworking, so that they will show gratitude to Almighty God. Because many were called, only few were chosen.
Earlier, the permanent secretary of Oluyole State Civil Service Commission, Prince Goke Adenrele, stated that the training program is aimed at building capacity and efficiency of the new officers with a view to equipping them with required knowledge and skills to effectively serve the people of the state.
Congratulations on your appointment. I want to say you are among the very ones. In the beginning, more than 30,000 people applied for job in your state. About 50 people start for CPT examination, out of which you are lucky to be appointed. You are going to witness of service and integrity. Let us all remember that efficiency is not just about speed. It is about moving quality services with integrity and education.
The event, which had in attendance full-time and part-time commissioners of the Oluyole State Civil Service Commission, was also graced by the State Accountant General, Mrs. Kikelomo Adegoke, the BCOS Chairman, Mrs. Dotun Olaiton, who was represented by the Director of Programs, Mr. Kunle Junaid, and the Permanent Secretary, Service Matters Office of the Head of Service, Mr. Paul Oyekunle, among others. Adebayo Abdurafi, BCOS News.
Indiscriminate waste disposal, dumping of plastics, improper waste management must be detested to keep the drainage functional as another rainy season sets in. A structural and material engineering academician, Professor Bamidele Downsi, gave this warning while speaking with BCOS reporter Timitokwe Abraham as he conducts a report on maintaining a flood-free rainy season. Timitokwe's report is presented by Adebayo Abdurafi.
The Uromi killings have sent shock. Flooding remains one of the most devastating environmental challenges in Ibadan, and the people will not forget about the devastation that followed the 1978, 1980, and 2011 flood disasters. However, the disasters were rather blamed on human errors than natural occurrence, as they were mostly due to poor attitude of the people to refuse maintenance. Since these occurrences, every approaching rainy season has always been seen as an approach of another disasters until recently, when the investment of the Oyo State government in the area of channelization began to manifest. A structural and material engineer at the Department of Civil Engineering, University of Ibadan, Professor Bamidele Daunsi, in an interview lauded the present administration in Oyo State for the commitments that have provided a relief from seasonal heightened fears of flooding.
I also want to commend the governor for what he has done on the Ibadan urban flood management project. Last year we witnessed some very heavy rain, which when you measure them will be close to the kind of rain that fell when we had Ogunpa flood disaster. But you realize that there was no flood disaster, and that project was responsible to a very large extent to evacuating the water quickly before it becomes flood. And that's because of the channelization project that the governor has done.
Professor Daunsi talks more on enlightening the people about the environment and drainage system management, calling on government to place more stringent rules against violations.
The issue of waste evacuation, especially in our marketplaces, also needs to be looked into. The practice of leaving refuse in the median of the roads should be discouraged, and we should, as much as possible, put in place a more efficient waste disposal system. Every household should have a refuse bin. The government would have to do a mass mobilization, to ensure that the people, internalize cleanliness.
Professor Daunsi therefore appealed to media houses to emulate BCO's television and radio stations by raising more awareness on waste management and sanitation.
It is important for every citizen to be familiar with the laws guiding their rights and obligations with a view to making right decisions at crucial moments, as ignorance is not a valid defense. A security expert, Dr. Adekunle Okunla, a retired police AIG, Chief Adewole Ajakaye, shared this perspective while discussing the Uromi killings on BCO's Current Affairs Breakfast Program, AM 120. Our reporter, Still Adebayo Abdurafi, who monitored the program, has the details.
The Uromi killings have sent shockwaves across Nigeria, exposing deep-seated ethnic and communal tensions from Edo State to the northern part of the country. Since the brutal killing of the 16 travelers in most horrendous circumstances in Uromi, Esa Northeast local government area, questions are being raised about the role of security agencies, the effectiveness of conflict resolution mechanisms, and the need for accountability and justice. Featuring on the BCO's television program, a security expert, Dr. Adekunle Okunla, commended the Edo State governor's efforts at addressing the situation, but emphasized that a more proactive approach would have been preferable, considering the long history of violence in the area. He further emphasized that the vigilante group's actions were probably a desperate response to the government's inadequate handling of the persistent killings and kidnappings in Uromi, condemning the self-help approach.
Community policing is the way out, what we call the state policing. And they are doing it, in disguise. When the government said, okay, every state you can have a vigilante group registered. Who trained them? The police and the army. The civil defense is in charge of every vigilante group. So the government knows that it is important, because the government knows that when it comes to security, all right, they have failed the people. They are not doing enough. It didn't just start now. All right, the present administration is trying, but it's an inherited problem from the past administrations. So community policing is the thing that is there. You can't scrap it. What they should do is to formalize it. Let it be something that is regularized. Give them more training. Because what happened, at Uromi was lack of training. After you've discovered the weapons, all you should do is to arrest them. You have interrogated them, then take them to the nearest police station.
Also featuring on the program, retired police AIG Chief Oluyole Ajakaye expressed gratitude that the recent incidents in Uromi have not escalated into full-blown religious and ethnic conflicts. He vehemently condemned the vigilante group's killings of the Northerners, emphasizing that no one has the right to take the life of a suspect, not even the police, except in self-defense during a life-threatening situation.
So far, I've not read in the paper that the issue in Uromi is as bad as we are saying. But honestly speaking, our conduct always has to be guided by the law, not by emotion, not by what is happening. You cannot say that because thief came to your house last night, and when you wake up, you see another person say, you think this is a thief that came to your house and you kill that person. No, action has to be guided by the law. When they keep happening, you cannot, because of that, say you are going to continue to live on your own and act against the law.
Both experts call for an increase in the number of police personnel and improved living conditions for them.
Myanmar's military has announced a temporary ceasefire to speed up relief and reconstruction efforts following last week's devastating earthquake. In a statement, the ruling Junta State Administration Council said the deal would be in effect from today till 22nd of April. Earlier this week, rebel groups fighting the military unilaterally declared a ceasefire to support relief efforts. The military had refused to do the same until today's announcement. At least 2,886 people are now known to have been killed after the magnitude 7.7 earthquake struck last Friday, while hundreds of people are still missing. The earthquake was also felt hundreds of miles away in neighboring countries like Thailand, where the death toll currently stands at 21.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. President Bola Tinubu has approved the reconstitution of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and NNPCL board, removing the chairman, Chief Pius Akiyelure, and the group chief executive officer, Malam Mele Kyari.
The Edo State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja has dismissed the petition filed by the Action Alliance, AA, and Adekunle Omwaji against the election of Governor Mande Okpebulu, the All Progressives Congress, APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
Oyo State government will roll out the second tranche of farmers' loan this month for bumper food production.
And on the foreign scene, Myanmar's military has announced a temporary ceasefire to speed up relief and reconstruction efforts following last week's devastating earthquake.
And that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Eniola Adiaga and delivered by
Oluyole Adishola. Thank you for listening.
And I am Pat Aito. Thank you for listening, and do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 o'clock this evening. Good evening once again.
The city of Ibadan, the home of ancient warlords, in the pace-setter state, This is Oluyole FM 98.5 Ibadan.